The Westport community is rallying around a local Uber Eats driver who suffered a serious head injury during a carjacking in town over the weekend. Police arrested 3 people in connection to the violent attack and continue to search for a 4th. As News 12 Connecticut's Marissa Alter reports, one of them went before a judge today.
It's business as usual at West Fair Center on Post Road East in Westport, a far cry from the crime scene there Saturday evening.
Around 7 o'clock, we got a call of the possible theft of a motor vehicle, but additionally, there was the possibility that someone was injured.
That person was a 64-year-old woman who was driving for Uber Eats.
64-year-old woman driving for Uber Eats. Working at 64. And the teens who forever changed their life, riding around, hoping to catch someone either going or coming from their car or parked so they can hop out and carjack. 64-year-old woman running around delivering food for peanuts. Teens committing violent carjackings for sport. Because here's what no one will tell you. Here's what no one will tell you. This has nothing to do with poverty. They aren't stealing these cars and taking them to chop shops. They're stealing these cars and using them in drive-bys or using them to carjack other people to joyride. This isn't even a crime. This has nothing to do with the pandemic where, the carjackings rose because, the economy messed up and they carjacking people so they can go sell the cars for parts at chop shops. Nah. That's not what the data's showing. That's not what the evidence is showing. That's not what the police departments are saying. That's not what the prosecutors are saying. They're not taking these cars to chop shop. They're using them in other crimes, drive-bys and carjackings. And joyriding. This is not some money grab or no. This is just entitlement. Like, we taking your car. That's what we do. And they use carjacking as Uber. It's Lyft, it's the Metro bus, it's the subway. They literally get around town. If they're anywhere and they stranded or need of Lyft, they just carjack people. I promise you. I'll put the link to the video in the description box. I promise you.
Around 7 o'clock, we got a call of the possible theft of a motor vehicle, but additionally, there was the possibility that someone was injured.
That person was a 64-year-old woman who was driving for Uber Eats. Westport police say she'd stopped at Golden Pizza to pick up an order and left her car running.
While she was inside, she observed somebody getting into it, and she went outside to intervene, and that's when she became injured.
Think about how they framed it. As was the woman, like the 64-year-old woman, sounds like the aggressor. She went inside, she looked out, there was somebody in her car. She went and intervened. Intervened? What a strange choice of words. And then that's when she became injured? Even when a 64-year-old woman is left in the, like, brain damaged. The son teen is still coddled and made out to be like, this is crazy.
While she was inside, she observed somebody getting into it, and she went outside to intervene, and that's when she became injured.
Police say the suspect took off in the victim's white Hyundai. They're still looking for him and the stolen car, but police arrested 3 co-defendants, 2 juveniles, and 18-year-old Giovanni Abreu of New Haven.
Son Brito, man. Son Britos ain't no joke, man.
An 18-year-old Giovanni Abreu of New Haven. Abreu was arraigned in court Monday, where his bond was set at more than $300,000. The woman was rushed here to Norwalk Hospital, where she remains. In court, the prosecutor said she has a traumatic brain injury and, though stable, still is in the ICU.
That's something you see in a city, like Bridgeport or New York. You don't see in little small towns like this.
They're everywhere. I don't know why you guys aren't sharing these videos, man. I've been trying to tell you guys, man. Share these videos. I know, I get it. The reaction you get on social media. They're everywhere. At least get some merch. So you can rock the merch. And people, help out the message that way. Or hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App. They're everywhere. Sunmen are everywhere. Sun Britos. Sun gliders. They're everywhere.
That's something you see in a city, like Bridgeport or New York. You don't see in little small towns like this.
On Monday, shoppers in that same strip mall reacted to the attack.
This is unbelievable. When did this happen?
Even the professor from Back to the Future, man, he couldn't even foresee this stuff. He couldn't even foresee this. It's crazy.
This is unbelievable. When did this happen?
I just feel like we're hearing about more and more of these things lately, so it was sad to hear about it, but I wish I could say I was surprised.
The community started a fundraising effort to help the victim. It says she'd been driving for Uber Eats in the evenings to earn supplemental income. On Monday, it had already raised $25,000.
Living in a town like Westport, everybody likes to come together, to stick together for each other. I'm not surprised to see there was a GoFundMe, and I'm not at all surprised that everyone rallied.
In Westport, Marissa Alter, News 12, Connecticut.
Uber released a statement to News 12 saying we're deeply alarmed and saddened by the details of this random act of violence. We've reached out to the driver to check in with her, and we stand ready to assist police with their investigation. Now, you can find a link to the fundraising effort on the News 12 website and the app.
Carjackers held a gun to her grandson's chest, only steps away, a West Suburban grandmother's garage.
And now she's telling her frightening story only to CBS 2's Stephen Graves.
It was something this grandmother has done plenty of times before at the garage in her alley.
We were unloading some boxes.
Now, terrified to show her face, it'll be a while before she ever does it again.
Scared to go outside. It's scary now.
This is what people don't understand, man. This is what sisters don't understand. And pasty liberals don't understand. This stuff traumatizes people. Okay? This stuff traumatizes people. Old ladies. I get it, sisters. You don't care about yourself. Obviously, y'all getting slaughtered out here in these streets. And if you talk to any sister not on YouTube, they don't even know what's going on. You'd be shocked. if the sister's not a BWE YouTuber, if you just talking to a sister in your family or a sister at your job or sister you know or around the way, they have no clue about the femicide rates. So sisters outside of YouTube spaces, they're oblivious to this stuff. So they don't care. But at least, what about the grandmothers? This stuff will make you not like sisters, man. Really, man. Well, why are you talking about sisters? What sisters got to do with this? They're the ones pushing the legislation. These some men out here, these pants sagging, nappy-headed some men out here ain't pushing no legislation. They ain't putting no pressure on politicians to change the laws and get rid of bail and get rid of stop and frisk and cut back on police. And that was sisters. Sisters are the ones that have all the power, the political power, and all the did you forget who started BLM? Forget about all the crap about BLM. Did you forget who started that? You forget who profited from that? You forget who the linchpin of that? And now grandmothers are being targeted. This really makes you not like sisters. And I hate that that's happening, man. I'm really starting to not like them.
We were unloading some boxes.
Now, terrified to show her face, it'll be a while before she ever does it again.
Scared to go outside. It's scary now.
Saturday around noon, surveillance video shows a guy walking by the woman he passed as she and her teenage grandson were emptying the truck at their Cicero home near 50th and Ogden.
He said hello. When I said hello, started picking up the liftgate from my truck. Because I don't know, I just had this bad feeling.
Behind him, another woman walks up as the man then turns back and steps toward her grandson.
And all I can see was him pointing a gun at my grandson on his chest. I grabbed my son and my grandson and I told him, let's just leave him. Get away from him. My sight was like directly in the gun.
You see the sister hop in the passenger side? They with this stuff, man. They're aiders and abettors. They're accomplices. We've been had. This ain't some let my people go, we shall overcome. My kings. I mean, it's that, but it's also, I'm trying to get some of this too, man. I'm trying to get some of this apple pie too. Trying to get a bite out of this apple too, and I don't want to get punished either when I get mine. So, I guarantee you, they just needed to get to the other side of town. They just needed to get to the other side of town. And they just walked around and looked for somebody who was getting into their car or somebody who was... They walked past the alley. They probably walked past the alley, saw them, and said, oh, shit. Then walked down the alley, and it's on. If it hadn't been them, it would have been the next people they saw getting into a vehicle. Well, the next Uber driver they saw dropping off some food or... They use this stuff as public transportation. And sisters is all the way with it.
Saturday around noon, surveillance video shows a guy walking by the woman he passed as she and her teenage grandson were emptying the truck at their Cicero home near 50th and Ogden.
He said hello. When I said hello, started picking up the liftgate from my truck because I don't know. I just had this bad feeling.
Behind him, another woman walks up as the man then turns back and steps toward her grandson.
And all I can see was him pointing a gun at my grandson on his chest. I grabbed my son and my grandson and I told him, let's just leave him. Get away from him. My sight was like directly in the gun.
And they were very calm, it looked like. They weren't aggressive.
Yes, they were very calm. I think they've done this before.
The video shows the man and a woman get in the vehicle and speed away. But she says police called her son, who owns the truck, and told him it was found hours later.
Because they just needed a ride to the other side of town or wherever they were going. Maybe they were going to the suburbs or maybe... They use this stuff as public transportation. I promise you.
The video shows the man and a woman get in the vehicle and speed away. But she says police called her son, who owns the truck, and told him it was found hours later. And officers found this truck crashed. You can see damage right here in the front. There's also some on the side and in the rear. Family tells me police took a man in who they believe is connected to 2 other carjackings in Cicero.
I'm just glad everything went well and nothing happened to my son, my grandson.
She says her 17-year-old grandson, a high schooler, is taking it better than her.
I don't know. It just never happened to me. You never know. It's never happened to me. And when it happens to you, it's like you're in shock.
Now a home of 30 years feels anything but after terror visited for no more than a minute. In Cicero, Stephen Graves, CBS 2 News.
Stephen checked in with Cicero police about any potential charges. He was told that the person with that information was out due to the Pulaski Day holiday, so we'll follow up. Meanwhile, we are tracking carjackings in real time, and you can too. To see how often these crimes are happening in your neighborhood, just scan this QR code you see here at the bottom of your screen. It will then take you to our carjacking tracker section of our website, cbschicago.com.